What up? What up?
What it
What
is.
up? What it is? What it do? You know who it
What it
is? What it
is.
do? We back again in 2025 with the 22 twos. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year,
Year.
Wow.
2025.
We here. We back.
First show of the new year.
Sports, culture, hip hop. We cover it all. You know, a lot of things gonna be changing here soon with the 22 twos. We got some new things coming your way. So make sure, stay tuned, subscribe, like, follow, share, comment.
You know the vibes already.
Hit us up. Slide in our DMs. You know what I'm saying?
Don't slide too hard now. Pause.
Don't slide too hard. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and don't not be like Samuel Acho. Please big us up on all the platforms. Hey, do like Sam. You know what I'm saying? Talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Tell people how amazing we are. But
I gotta give a shout out.
Yo,
that brother is starving.
we here today, y'all. We ain't gonna talk about. Well, we will get to it eventually. Right now, we about to shoot our shot. Like Joy apparently shot her shot with many. Anyway,
aim high. Aim high.
We gonna shoot our shot under shoot your shot segment. You know, we're gonna talk about the NBA, so we're gonna go ahead and get straight to it.
Listen, before we get started,
shots, I'm shooting.
Before we get started, Skip Bayless made a career the past decade about the shots LeBron wouldn't take, and clearly Skip allegedly took his shot.
Yes.
I don't like that shot though. I don't like that one.
Took his.
But
I'm gonna take it.
You better
in NBA news, fellas, Jimmy Butler. The whole saga continues down there in Miami. Jimmy, Pat Riley. It started a couple weeks ago. Pat Riley coming out saying there's no way they're trading Jimmy Butler. He's going to remain in Miami Heat for the rest of the season. Jimmy Butler comes back from injury and is in his press conference on record saying he is happy off of the court and that he cannot find joy on the court in Miami any longer. After a couple seasons run with the Miami Heat, making it to 2 finals appearances, you know, taking the Lakers to game 6 and only being able to eke out 1 game and eventually losing in 5 games to the Denver Nuggets. His time over there seems like it is a wrap. After that press conference, you know, the Miami Heat made a statement that they are open to trade Jimmy Butler and they are looking for potential trade partners and suitors. But of course, Jimmy is not making this easy on them. You know, apparently his agent is calling around telling teams do not trade for him because they are trying to curate that trade destination to be over to Phoenix so he can team up with Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. There's only one problem. Bradley Beal got a no trade clause in his contract.
What?
And not going to be able to do it. Shout out Jalen Rose on that one. But it has been tough sledding the past couple weeks. They are clearly at odds. Jimmy Butler is currently serving a 7-game suspension by the franchise. Things are not looking good over there. The problem is, you know, Jimmy has that last year. He wants that extension, and they're telling teams he is not going to extend. Maneuvers. Do you see a scenario where Jimmy Butler for sure is traded? Because I can also see a scenario with asshole Pat Riley like, you know what? We ain't trading you. You don't want to play?
Don't play.
Take your ass home. We're going to bite the bullet. We're going to pay you your money. We don't want you playing, and sending Jimmy Butler home for the rest of the season without trading him.
Yeah, I think that's the most likely outcome.
Yeah.
But stranger things have happened. You know, the 76ers are void of 2 players that we thought they would not be void of as soon as they were. So
he can't go back there. He can't go back.
But like, you know, we'll see. We'll see. I think Pat ain't gonna budge. Yeah. And if he do budge, somebody about to put together an amazing trade package.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler.
Right.
And I don't see it. Not that Jimmy's, you know, he's a phenomenal player still, but he is on the descent side of his career.
In mid-30s.
Yeah, he's definitely on the descent side. But I mean, LeBron kind of changes how people look at what are the
Age,
if
yeah.
someone takes care of their body and Jimmy does that. Jimmy does he does a good job of taking care of himself in the offseason. But he has, unlike LeBron, he has been off injured of recent.
Yeah.
So I just don't see someone.
Beef has been bubbling too, though.
Yeah. But I
as
don't
far
see
as the
Jimmy Butler and Pat.
organization, Pat Riley,
Yeah.
Remember when he said that, made that comment during the playoff? Yeah, during the offseason.
Like talking about you can't make
if
them comments if you're not playing. Yeah.
So I don't see someone putting together a package that's gonna make Pat say, okay, we're gonna move off it. I think Pat gonna be on the principle of it. He gonna be like, nah.
No, but you know what maneuvers off the strength of the apron, first and second and third apron, $35 million to Jimmy Butler at this point in his career, and he has another year on top of that. Who's willing to trade for that? Who thinks that Jimmy Butler is the piece? He does have a player option, but who thinks that he is the piece in order to be able to put them over the hump?
I got 3 teams.
Okay.
Tell me, and keep in mind, Miami wants young players and they want picks back. And the team that's trading for Jimmy Butler must really think they're Jimmy Butler away from winning it all.
That's what I'm saying. I got 3 teams. I
can only think of 2. So I'm interested.
These are I'm just throwing these out in the dark. One team I could say, possibly Memphis. Right?
He said he doesn't want to go there. They already told them. Yeah, they told Memphis don't trade for him.
Okay. Another one I would say, the Spurs. That'll be interesting. Right up, close to my backyard. And number 3, NBA Siberia, Detroit.
Well, he's not going to any of those places.
No. That's what I'm trying to say. We're all in agreement that Pat Riley's not going to budge. But I'm saying 3 random off-the-cuff destinations. I don't know why I wouldn't want to go to Memphis either, to be honest. Like,
only 2 teams that I can think of. That would be crazy enough, huh?
I'm joking. The Knicks don't got nobody.
No. The only 2 teams that I can think of that would be crazy enough to try to put together a trade package, because you're gonna have to have a partner to do it. And one kind of makes sense because it might help them in the next 2 years.
The Houston Rockets.
Yeah, exactly. And one makes sense because they might feel like, all right, we can make one last final push to LA Lakers.
Or the Lakers.
But other than that, unless the Clippers give up Kawhi.
You're right, and that would be pointless.
That'll be the worst. He will never play. He is never playing ever again.
Future out too. They're gonna be in the club.
Sean, last question before we wrap up that segment. Have we seen the last of playoff Jimmy? Or you think we see him on a new roster next season and we get some more action? Pause.
I think this is the last of him. His trade demands are outlandish, bro. Like
that contract is
what makes you think, your contract is crazy. You want to go to Phoenix, and Bradley Beal, who Darnell absolutely loves, said he's not vetoing his no trade clause. It's not feasible. He's not able to go where he wants to go, bro.
The most overhyped.
Yeah, he's not going where he wants to go. He's gonna have to concede at some point, or like you guys mentioned from the jump, Pat Riley sends him home. He pays him his contract until it's up next year, and then it's bye-bye, so long, farewell. So, I mean, Jimmy Butler,
back into the
he's not the player that he thinks that he is. And I think it just boils down to him not being a player that he is, making the demands that he's making at this point in his career.
I don't know about
that. You're not who you think you are right now.
Huh?
That's a tough
it's a reality statement. It's a reality statement. Jimmy Butler is not the player that he once was 2 years ago in the playoffs, cooking people.
Yeah,
he's washed. He's not the same, bro.
Do you believe that now, I don't want to make the conversation too long, but do you believe that he truly isn't that player, or do you believe he is not trying to play like that player because of the situation?
Yeah.
Combination of both, and we also got to remember he's had like 3 injuries since that finals, right? So it's like every time he comes back, and it's always the legs. It's always the legs, the ankle, the knee, something. So like the explosiveness that he had, the ability to be shifty and lock down a perimeter offensive player, it's been taking some time.
Jimmy, if Houston calls you, man, just go ahead and. I think that's the best place for him, man.
Houston, nice.
With all them young boys.
Yeah, man. You gonna
go over there, keep your girl away from Ime Udoka, and everything will be all right.
Great,
you heard? Speaking of Jimmy wants to go to a winning situation. We got several winning situations in the NBA. Oklahoma City, guys, they just lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers 129-122 in Cleveland. However, prior to that loss, 15 games in a row. This was, I believe, the first time in NBA history a team on a 15-game win streak and another team on a 10-game win streak played each other. Could have been us last week, but, we fumbled the bag in the fourth quarter. Aaron Wiggins did his thing, unfortunately. But, we see them again on Friday. But, boys, if you had to drop a bag on someone winning the championship this year, would it be on OKC or would it be the field? Maneuvers, I see you shaking your head, yes. OKC or the field?
OKC.
Wow.
I know a lot of people disagree with me. I think I said it to you guys the other day. I said, and I think my statement was misunderstood. I think Hartenstein is the difference.
Right.
I think, and when I say he's a difference, I don't mean him as an individual. I mean him along with the collective that they have makes a difference.
He has fit in seamlessly, by the way.
With a healthy Chet and a healthy Alex Caruso, and these guys that we didn't know their name at the start of the season, who are now playing lights out ball, like they look scary. They look scary. So yeah, I mean, the only other way that you give me to pick somebody else is if you said, is it OKC or the Knicks? And then I'm picking the Knicks every time.
Crazy thing. I just looked at the standings. Dude, the Pistons are 19 and 18. They're the 8th seed. Oh my! I can't even call them NBA Siberia no more.
Nah, they've been hooping. They've been hooping. Wow. Tobias Harris, Tim Hardaway Jr. They've been and Cade has been unleashed this year. We've seen the signs with Cade before. But Sean, the field or OKC?
The field, man. And it's because if y'all remember distinctly last year when I felt very strongly, y'all remember, don't act like you don't. I felt very strongly about OKC coming out of the West and then not even tiptoeing, big stepper, walking into OKC arena. Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving just kicked the door down and said, "Dog,
snake bitten. That's why
you're gonna."
Nah.
What happened?
You just snake bitten. That's why you saying that.
Yeah.
It's because of what? You have to speak up into the right. Pause.
Because you snake bitten. If you still
absolutely. I don't trust their ability to be consistent on the boards. And close out defensive possessions without getting out rebounded.
So
their perimeter defense is top tier. But I don't trust their ability to be able to close possessions as we saw tonight.
Chet's not a big rebounder
Against the Cavs. He is not a big rebounder. You could say his name all you want to, right? But there's gonna be moments in the season where you're gonna have to rely on guys outside of him. I mean, nobody else is averaging more than 8 rebounds per game for them.
Yeah.
So tough. Rebounding to close possessions is gonna be really big for them.
Yeah.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's all world, bro.
MVP.
Yeah, MVP. He is all world, bro. And Jalen Williams, all world. Everybody, I love Jalen Williams. I wanted him here in New York if there was any way to be able to trade for him. I know you don't like Felix.
No, Maneuver said Wiggins. Like, bro.
Wiggins. No, Wiggins don't do that. What you saw on Friday, he don't do that, bro.
He's capable. He's not consistent. Like, come on, son. Come on, son.
That. Like,
come on.
Now a dude like Isaiah Joe. Okay, Isaiah Joe is a very solid backup point guard.
He's a shooter. Yeah.
If you're not careful, you know what I'm saying. And then Alex Caruso, once he comes back, he's gonna further solidify defensively. Be able to give breaks to Jalen Williams and extended spurts. Defensive rebound. Dort is
no, he's really good defensively. I'm talking offensively.
And he improved offensively too.
Offensively,
he improved offensively.
Defensively,
he improved offensively. Defensively, he still get that work.
I fear. Again, like I said, I fear for OKC's ability to close possessions consistently based on their issues with rebounding outside of Hartenstein.
I would say the field too.
Yeah,
he probably will. I mean, I would say the field too, though, just because the field is so top heavy. As you mentioned, the Knicks are up there, Boston's up there, Cleveland's up there, and I think Dallas kind of has their number. Of course, they beat them last season, but I think they're definitely a threat to OKC in the postseason. Remember, you got to win 4 games, not just one. Regular season win streaks are nice, but it is not the playoffs. Things are going to change up. You got a whole series. And, they say teams gotta go through the gauntlet, right? I think they maybe like one more year away. Can they win it this year? Of course, but I'm going to go to the field on this one. And Darnell, I specifically left you out of this one because I want to move on to our hometown New York Knicks and let you cook a little bit. We won 9 games in a row. We followed that up with 3 heartbreaking losses. We were cooking OKC. We were up double digits at halftime. Aaron Wiggins decides to go off for 17 points in the fourth quarter. And we lose that one going away. Second half of a back-to-back, we go into Chicago. We're also up damn near double digits. And Kobe White decides to have his MJ moment and start step back with the right hand, shooting threes. He hit 9 of them things on us. We lose that game going away in the second half and in the fourth quarter. Come back home without Karl Anthony Towns because we've always been complaining about how much Tibbs plays these guys down the stretch of games where we're either clearly winning or clearly losing. Karl Anthony Towns comes up a little bit hobbled, misses the home game 2 nights ago at home in MSG against the Orlando Magic. And Cole Anthony said, you know what? I'm in the crib. It's time to cook. Anthony Black was like, I'm going to follow your lead. And we just looked lethargic.
Isaac making threes.
We had no energy without Karl Anthony Towns, and we lost that one at home to the Orlando Magic. We bounced back tonight, though. Double-digit win at home against the Toronto Raptors. Of course, they needed that one. Karl Anthony Towns was back. Another 20-something and 13-rebound game. Josh Hart put up another double-double, 21 and 10. So we bounced back. The Knicks are still, solidly third in the standings out east. Yeah. What is the Knicks' biggest hole that you've seen thus far this season?
Is this thing on? Is this thing on?
Come on, man. We already know what you're gonna say.
We know it. We know it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna always be something with Tibbs. Like it's funny. Like somebody tweeted out. He actually took the starters out when they were up by 20 points with 2 minutes left. Like, it's like what are you doing, man? I don't know. As I said, like I made this reference to you guys, even when we had those playoff runs with Tibbs. I said like this is the thing is if it was something that I just clearly made up out of my head, and I just popped it out there and threw it out there, I get it. You know what I'm saying? But I think what we have to really just understand with Tibbs, and it's like. And this is the best way. This is something I thought about the other day. Let's just say I won the lotto, and I said, hey, you know what? I want to go buy me a Ferrari, right? A Ferrari could go up to 270 miles an hour. Let's just say that 250, maybe allegedly, right? Am I going to drive 250 every single time I get in that Ferrari on every road? No, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? And I think that the problem with Tibbs is like I get his methods, I get his coaching, he does adjustments, but I just don't get how, it's like partial development, and not realizing that you can't run these guys into the ground, and in this NBA that we do have, I think Felix brought up a great point. The MVP of the league right now
hasn't played more than 39 minutes all
39 months. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, okay, all right, what do we go to? We got nobody else. I'm like, okay, then Leon Rose, like, hey, what can we do? How can we? If he got you a pretty good roster, a decent roster.
What's got me, Brian?
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, what does this guy want? But I'm not gonna say anything else about Tibbs. Like, I guess I'll just wait and see. They might make some trades at the deadline. I don't know. With Mitchell Robinson coming back, who knows what happens there? But it's to me, it's always with Tibbs, man. And like, I just don't like that we're just running these guys into the ground.
So I echo that point. With that, and mine is more specific because I've pointed that out in wins and losses. So it's not just, one-sided with me. Also, the players got to take it upon themselves. They got to be accountable and get better. Jericho Sims, you've been in the league for 4 seasons now? Almost 5. Like, what have you gotten better at?
Don't even look at the basket.
Yeah, look at the basket.
Right. He's fighting. He's super athletic. He's getting offensive rebounds. He's getting defensive rebounds. But then he gets next to the rim, and it's just like all he can do is dunk. There's no floater. There's no finesse. There's nothing
Ben
there.
Simmons syndrome.
Right. So it's like at some point the players do got to get better. But my only point down the stretch, if the game is clearly out of reach, whether we're winning or losing, just give these guys extra minutes. The more reps these bench players can get in, hopefully it helps us down the line. We probably do need another swing, another 3-4 that can handle and pass. Later on in the season. I don't know if that's via trade because we don't have too many trade pieces. Might be a team for a buyout candidate. But Maneuvers, I saw you grinning over there, kind of grinding your teeth. I know you got a little bit more than nothing to say. So talk to me.
I just don't understand what Mr. DB dude over here wants from Tom Thibodeau. I know.
Stop playing them when we're up by 30 points. That's all.
Okay, but you know what? You know why I say that? Because I feel like you always have a gripe with him.
It's not always. It is
everybody,
every single analyst, every player. We know how Tibbs is. He pretty much made Derrick Rose and took his career away at the same time, busting that poor guy knees up, man. Playing him all of the minutes.
All right,
Come on, man.
I'm gonna say this. All right. I as you guys could probably remember, was a big I was a very big detractor for Tom Thibodeau. I said we needed to get rid of him. But this is a defensive coach who is now coaching one of the highest rated offenses in the league. Like, he's doing some things right. And you can't get it all right all the time. Like, you can please some people some of the time. You can please all the people all the time. I think they're doing good. I think they went all in on this Karl Anthony Towns thing. We gave a bit of depth in order to do that. I think I'm seeing a little bit more of the bench players getting into the game. They're probably not playing as many minutes as you would like, but I think they're getting more minutes than they were in a previous iteration of a Tom Thibodeau team. And not to get scientific, but they're the starters and the guys who are logging all these minutes. Guess what? In the playoffs, they're gonna log all these minutes, right? And there's something called Wolff's Law. Like, the stresses that you place on the body are the stresses that the body can account for. Sometimes it's always beating the body up. Pause is preparation for what they're gonna have to do in the playoffs. Because unless we can make the moves and bring people in here, like, these guys are gonna have to play a lot of minutes for us to contend for the championship we so desperately want.
Sean, any rebuttal? And what's the next single move you think the Knicks need to make to bolster the roster, or to fix whatever situation you think is wrong with them?
Okay, so a couple of things, right? We have this thing that I mentioned from before. You have the first and the second apron. The Knicks are right at the cusp, about
$500,000 below
$1,000 below the second apron.
Yeah,
so you can't trade for a player unless the salaries match, and you would have to get rid of a player that you absolutely love in order to be able to make it work, like a Deuce McBride. You know what I'm saying? Or Campaign is expendable with his contract. We all do understand that, but we made the trade with the idea that we're stuck with what we're stuck with right now, and we need to develop. Right. There isn't a window for us to be able to trade without us getting in the second apron, because if we do get in the second apron, we're going to be in big trouble. Where I do have issues with Tom Thibodeau is, and this is to echo everybody's sentiment, is in regular season games like this, you have nothing to lose by putting in some of the younger talent that can play the game of basketball, which we've clearly seen. Like Tyler Kolek has an excellent feel. For the basket, for
he's shown it with the starters.
You know what I'm saying? You can just see it. You know what I mean? He is a glue piece. He doesn't stop the flow of ball movement. What I would like to see is younger guys like Pacome Dadier get into the game, or even Jacob Toppin, guys that can bring energy that is so desperately needed on nights where we saw, like on Monday, where we can have an injection of not necessarily talent, but energy and exuberance when those guys get into the lineup along with the starters to see exactly what they can do. You might get a 20-point game from somebody like Pacome Dadier because the young man can shoot from the outside. You know what I'm saying? It's not always about what guys can do in practice to make you trust them. It's more of whether or not you can put them in the game and see exactly what they can do against real NBA talent.
And here's the thing. We're not calling for the bench to be in there together. Throw Pacome Dadier out there with 4 other starters.
Yeah.
Like it's not rocket science.
Yeah.
And then throw in some. Go ahead, Donna.
No. I think that's the one thing about Tibbs, man. You know, you think about, you know, I always look back to that on those Bulls teams. You know what I mean? If he doesn't trust you, he's not gonna put you in.
Stop.
Not even the Bulls teams. Look at the Knicks. He had Todd Gibson come back how many times?
The whole attack on Tibbs. First of all, you believe in narratives, right? That they can be painted on a player or coach for any one particular set of circumstances, and it sticks with you your entire career, right? Derrick Rose was a quick twitch NBA player who relied on explosiveness, right? Granted, yes, he played a lot of minutes, but he wouldn't have been able to develop into the player that he was at that time without having done so. So with him having the injury that he did, which he suffered, people point to Tibbs and say, oh, you played him too many minutes. That's the reason why he blew out his knee. No, Derrick Rose blew out his knee because Derrick Rose is Derrick Rose. He plays off of straight athleticism, and poor circumstances led to him having that injury, and then Tom Thibodeau, because of his lineups and the way that he curates his minutes restrictions for players, he just lets guys play. You know what I'm saying? So I don't hold him to task for that. And I think that you need to be able to understand that this is a results business, and for you to get the best possible results, you're going to put your best starting 5 out there 100% of the time. To wrap this up, Tom Thibodeau is doing an excellent job given the collection of talent. Again, like FJB pointed out, brand new nucleus, brand new set of guys.
The sky's not falling.
Or more offensive.
No, we're not saying.
More offensive-minded. Let me finish. An offensive-minded team, right? We've gone away from that grit and grind with defense, and we're kind of, our calling card now is being able to outscore teams.
Right.
The bench needs to have more opportunities to be able to get in the game to give, a rest for the starters. But that remains to be seen because, again, Tibbs is a trust coach. He needs to be able to trust his guys. I think that trust will come eventually, but not right now.
Maneuvers, take us out.
I think Sean put it very eloquently. I think he definitely covered the really good points. The one thing I want to add is like Derrick Rose. Come back to Derrick Rose. Something that he pointed out, and I think that's probably true with this Knicks team is that Tibbs also relies a lot on what the players say in terms of how they feel, how long they want to be in the game, when they want to come out the game, and I think
they always want to play.
We've seen from the guys on this Knicks roster, like they want to play.
They want to play, yeah.
They want to be in the game. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it's necessarily all on Tibbs. I think the players definitely have a say. So
listen, it could be worse. We could have Steve Kerr who takes Steph Curry out after he hits 4 threes. Yeah. So put a wrap on that, but appreciate y'all for tapping in with us again.
Yeah, we tapped in like George Taylor.
Yo. Yo, peace. That's the only shot we shoot in this NBA talk. Ain't no skip. Been no skip out here. You heard?
Skip
like, subscribe, follow.
Oh, Skip Bayless. Okay.
Hit the bell notification. Highlighter.
Nasty.
Peace.
Later.